You ever go to change your brakes, use a C-clamp to push the brake piston back in, and wondered if one of the cheap Amazon tools would work any better? I wondered the same thing. So in today's video, we're gonna find out if this actually works better than this. So if you've ever used one of these, you know you either need to get directly centered in here so you get even pressure, or you need to use something else like a block or the old brake pad to get in there so you're applying the pressure all the way around and not to just one side. The difference between that and this is these are wide enough to get across that to provide that pressure, or at least supposed to be, and you only need one thing maybe, or you have the option too of using a 1/2" drive ratchet if it's a little tough. First thing I'm noticing is it's a little hard to turn here, like it could use a little grease. It didn't come with grease or anything, so that would be something you need. It's got little sticky points. Overall, not too bad, it's still doable. And you do need to get this somewhat closed down before we stick it in here. Now, the idea is that you can get this centered up if your hole is small enough, your U out here is small enough. Alright, so let's see how this works. So far it seems to be working just fine. Very easily. One thing I am noticing is when you turn this, it wants to slip out of here, so you gotta keep both hands on it.
It does seem to be evenly pressing that piston in, but it's not getting stuck or lodged at an angle.
No, it seems to be doing exactly what it's advertised to do. So, now getting it back out, because of those threads being sticky, is a little bit harder. Alright, so the threads are a little bit grabby, but it wasn't too bad to turn with pressure on it. It did want to roll when I was trying to turn the handle, so I had to keep both hands on it. But I'm gonna give it a second go on the other side, and then I'll give you my full thoughts. Alright, so we're about to go for round 2 on this Amazon tool. I do want to mention that make sure that you pick the right tool for the job. If your caliper looks like this is the right tool. If it has a T of any sort in it, it probably needs to rotate, and this will not be the tool to do it. You would just damage your brake piston. So I'm gonna try a different positioning this time to see if it works any better. If it fits that way, I'm gonna try and come in from the top instead of coming straight on. See if So it does sit better that way, but I can already tell that when I go to twist, it's gonna want to move. So either way, it's a two-handed operation. Final thoughts on this tool from Amazon. It's for less than 20 bucks. It did what it's supposed to do. The parts about it that I don't like is how grabby these threads are. So it takes effort to actually get this even empty, so it's a little hard. So I would suggest grease on your threads and on your slide bar here. Other thing I don't like is it's a little loose. So I mean, it could have been a little bit more precision, but for the price, it's not that bad. One of my favorite parts is the ability to actually use this, and you don't need multiple pieces, and it did as it was advertised to do. Now, my favorite part of it is the usability of it. So over time, if let's say this handle breaks, you have options to actually be able to use a 1/2-inch driver or a wrench to still be able to use the tool. So something like this getting bent doesn't render this entire tool useless. So far so good. We didn't get any bends in these plates, so it is by far better than the C-clamp because of the size of it. It's easier to hold on to, and you don't have to worry about getting dead center or having a second piece. So I can't remember exactly, but I think it's only $15, and for $15, it actually doing what it's supposed to do and didn't break. I think it's worth it, unless this is something you do or would need every day. On that note, if you're just doing this in your yard every now and then when your vehicle needs it, I would suggest this tool.
If you're a backyard mechanic, this is your tool right here. Cheap, easy to use.
Yes, very. So you guys who are doing it professionally, I would probably go for the higher dollar tool with the ratchet on it. All right, so that's the end of the cheap Amazon tool review. If you like that video, hit the like button. If you want to see us review other cheap Amazon tools, let us know which ones you'd like to see down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and be a friend and share tools.